In this video for 8.2 notes, we are going to be going over how to solve using proportions. In example 1, we are given an angle bisector. We are going to set up a proportion. You may use any pattern you want as long as you follow. So if I do 3 over x, my pattern for the next fraction or proportion would have to be 6 over 4. So that's what I mean, you have to follow the same pattern. Then you cross multiply. 6 times x is 6x. 3 times 4 is 12. I can now solve by dividing by 6, and x is equal to 2. Example 3, if I do 24 over 32, the next setup would be x over 12. I cross multiply, I'd get 32 times x is equal to 24 times 12, which would be 288. Then I would divide by 32 on both sides, and x is equal to 9. Example 3, there is a problem. I cannot set up a proportion unless I have these given sides. So when I look at 3, it's different because I have this side and 9, but I don't know what the side is that goes with 28. So in order to find this side, I would do the big piece, so 30 minus 9 is 21. So this side is 21, and I don't need the 30 anymore. That allows me to say x over 9 is equal to 28 over 21. Cross multiply, 21x equals 28 times 9, 252. Divide by 21 on both sides, and x is equal to 12. Example 4 is similar. I have to do 20 minus 6, 14. Together those two sides would equal 20. Let's see. If I do 21 over 14, so I did left over right, I would have to do x over 6. 14x equals 21 times 6. Then divide by 14. X is equal to 9. Alright, we are going to get into a little bit more difficult problems. I have 12 over 4 for my first section, then I'll have 15 over 2x minus 9. Now this is more difficult because before we only had 1x. Now I have 2x minus 9 on the bottom. I have two pieces, two terms. When I cross multiply, I have to do 12 times 2 is 24x. Then I have to do 12 times negative 9 is negative 108. So I multiply it to both, then it will equal 4 times the 15, and now I can solve it. Add 108 to both sides. 24x is equal to 168. divide both sides by 24, and x is equal to 7. Let's try 6. I set it up. 9 over 6 is equal to 2x plus 3 over 14, so I follow my same pattern. I cross multiply. 6 times 2 is 12x. 6 times 3 is positive 18 equals, then I do 9 times 14. 14 times 9 minus the 18. Divide by 12. And x equals 9. Now I have that long piece again, this long side. That means that this one would be a 9 because 4 plus 9 is 13. Cross that out. 3 plus x over 4 equals 18 over 9. I cross multiply. That would be 9 times 3 is 27, plus 9 times x is 9x, equals 4 times 18, 72. I minus the 27 because they're both constants. I want the x to be alone. 9x is equal to 45 divided by 9, and x is equal to 5. On example 8, I want this piece right here, 21. I get rid of the 9 to get that this piece is 12. Gone. 2x minus 5 over 9, right over left, equals 20 over 12. Cross multiply. 2 times 12 is 24x minus 5 times 12 is 60. 9 times 20 is 180. After cross multiplying, I solve. Divide by 24. X equals 10. So these, solving with proportions, we are given angle bisectors, so we can set proportions up right away. The second page with proportions will be different because we have an altitude, which makes 3 right triangles. I have this right triangle, this one, and then I have the big triangle. You are going to need to pull 2 triangles out. So these are the most difficult ones that you will have in this unit. I'm going to exaggerate the long and short sides. Oh, I'm going to do different colors too. Okay, so if I look at this triangle right here, the orange, my short side, based off the distance, x is shorter and 16 is longer. I'm going to pull one more triangle out. If I try and take out the big triangle, not labeled, it only has one side labeled, so I'm not going to use it. I'm going to try and use this small triangle. I have x, and this side, let's see what it would have to be. 25 minus 16 should be 9. 9 is the short. x is the long within this pink triangle. From here, I can set up my proportion. 16 over x equals x over 9. So they just drop down into a proportion. Cross multiply, x squared equals, then I do 16 times 9, square root to get x alone, and you should get 12. For problem 10, now we are going to use, I'm going to take this small triangle out. The longest side is x and the shortest side is 36. If I try and use this small triangle, the only side labeled on it is 64, so that won't work. If I look at the big triangle, I have x, that length, and I don't know that one. So for the red, the longest side would be 64 and 36 together, which makes 100, and x would be the short side. X over 36 equals 100 over x. Cross multiply to get x squared equals, now I'm going to square root it to get rid of the power of 2. Square root 3600 is 60. I'm going to pull out this triangle right here. My longest side is x, my short side is 9. If I try and take this triangle out, there are no labels, so I'm not going to use it. For the big triangle, I have the short leg is x, and the long side is the 25. I don't have to add them together. X over 9 equals 25 over x. X squared equals 9 times 25 square root, and you should get x equals 15. For problem 12, I'm going to take out this triangle here. X is the shortest length, 64 is longer. If I look at this small triangle, I have that 36 is short and x is long. 64 over x equals x over 36. X squared equals 64 times 36. Square root it. $48. 13. I have this triangle on the left. My longest side is 48. 36 is the short. On this triangle, I have x is the long side and 48 is the short. If you get really good at this, you can start skipping the triangles. That would give me 36x equals 48 times 48. And then divide by 36 on this one. X equals 64. So you didn't have to square root. That's kind of nice. I have this triangle. The short side is 48. 64 is long. Oh, this one might end up being the same. X is the short. 48 is the long. Is it the same question? Oh, nope, it's not. Okay, we're good. 64x equals, we already did 48 times 48. Divided by 64. That's similar. X is 36. My longest side is the x. Short side is 12. Long side is 12. Short side is 9. Cross multiply, 9x equals 144. Divide by 9. And x is equal to 16. I have this triangle that stands out to me first. 15 is the longest. 9 is the short. I can try and take this one out, but there are no sides labeled. When I do the big triangle, I have x and 15. 15 is short, x is the long piece. 15 over 9 equals x over 15. 9x equals 15 times 15 is 225. Divide by 9. And x equals 25. So you should get whole numbers. If you have questions, contact me online and let me know. And that is how you use proportions to solve for missing sides in triangles, given an altitude and given an angle bisector.